Yeah, when you saw it, nothing was done in the basement, right?
Nothing. No. It was virgin, man. When I went down in the basement, that wall was gone. Everything. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, now I cut out a bunch of gas lines. I cut out a bunch of plumbing lines. I mean, some old shit, man. Some of that stuff was very dangerous. So I'm going to cut that other meter, cut right up to the meter Dylan and I did yesterday before he left. So that second meter doesn't have any pipes running to it. And today I just went backwards and took all that extra gas line out of there.
Yeah,
so,
you don't need all that. You need one setting, you know?
Yeah, so I'll just rerun it with the new stuff and fucking rock and roll on that.
You're right.
So it's day 10, you know. What time is it? 12:53.
Yeah.
We've had some pretty good progress. You know what I mean? I wanted to get more of the framing done, but the framing is subject to everything else. We had open lines up there for electrical that we didn't need to have open, you know.
Yeah,
Those live...
that was pretty intense, man. That shit was, you know, it was sitting there waiting to bite, you know.
Yeah, you can say that. It was definitely intense. It's waiting to bite. That's a good way to put it. Oh, I like it.
You're like a rattlesnake, buddy.
Well, what scared me is that gas line. I mean, it was already a line that was cut, so whoever did that before, there was no cap, just an open line, so I thought that was a water line at first because they were all the same sizing. And then realized as soon as I bit into it, I said, oh my gosh, there's gas. And there was a line that was being used, but it was a dead end of another line. There was a shutoff on it. Me and Dylan was upstairs. I went and I shut the gas off immediately with the pipe wrench at the main meter, then shut a couple of the other ones off. Dylan was getting ready to walk in, and I told him, you know, we ran up and said, you know, let's stay out, clear it out. So I went in and opened up all the windows.
Got to get that place straightened up so the trades can get in there, you know?
Yeah, and then I'm meeting another guy. Here's the best part. An electrician gave me a bid of around $95. But he said, hey, man, he said, I really want to work with you guys on this thing. You know, because he looked up our profile on Home Advisor and said, I just want to, let's talk. So I called him back, and then he's going to come over on Wednesday, and we're going to just look at the bid. He said, you guys can do the plugs and stuff. So I want him to do the main box and do some of the run wiring, see if he can cut that bid $6,000 or less than that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I said, oh, man, that's beautiful news. That's what I'd like to hear. Even though we could do it, but it takes us twice as long to do something like that. I can do all the plugs, the outlets, the switches. I can even run the bathroom fans. I mean, I've done those things. I can run them right from the whips. That's what we do in Denver all the time.
Right.
You know, our electrician comes in and does the stuff, pulls the permit. We'll just do it and just drop a whip in instead of him, and he works with us. So hopefully this guy will do the same thing. Sounds like that's what he said. So
see if he wants to play, you know?
Yeah, he had mentioned, I'll see how far he wants to play. That's the best part.
Yeah, absolutely, John, absolutely. Because he may know a guy that might be a plumber, too. If he works, you might have a guy like that, you know?
Well, Wednesday's meeting with the air conditioning or heating guy, he gave us a bid for plumbing, too. So what I'm going to offer him for $5,000 for the plumbing. But I need to cut one of those guys down to just basic cost of materials because I can do both those things. The heating, not the heating, but the electrical. Not the main panel, I would never, but come on. I already took a bunch of wires and ran them off of other junction boxes down in the basement, coiled them back up right to the box. So there's one line that's a 20 amp line sitting there with 25 feet. And we're right above the kitchen. I know that's a home run. I could run that right upstairs and say, hey, that's already there from beforehand, and that's part of the plug. That's one home run for that kitchen.
Absolutely. That's your microwave.
Well, it's got to be, each one has to have its own home run. It has to have one. So dishwasher, micro, they all have to be on their own. So there's got to be 6 or 8 home runs to that kitchen.
Yep.
Okay, you know, if I pull them all back, they're already there.
Right.
The one guy, $16,000. Come on, give me a fucking break. He was trying to fucking make his goddamn whole winter. He was trying to make his whole winter off us.
Right. Fuck that. $16,000, dude. All you did is cause yourself never to have me call you ever again. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
16,000. What the fuck?
That's what I thought, dude. He's trying to take advantage of us.
Right. And that's just ludicrous, you know.
Yeah. So, and then George had a guy. His name is Jeff, but I haven't been able to get a hold of him. He does cheaper stuff. But if this guy, I'm happy. I want to hear what Justin comes in. I'd be more than happy to give some guy. He's got to make money, man.
We get it.
We get it. You know, if we can do it for $2,000, I have no problem paying this guy $5,000, $5,500 if he gives us a break, because he's got to make money.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I can put in a fucking electric box. That's what I just did at my house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And this is just running home runs for a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. You buy that, you know, you get a lot of 15 amp circuits, and you get some 20s, and you should be good to go. Cause nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I have a bunch of product that was left here from those other people, so we'll see what we have.
Right.
All right, Jimbo,
Right.
12:58, man. I got to get in there.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Talk to you
You got
later, John.
I will. See ya.
All right. Bye.